It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we'll get to see a battle for conference superiority. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants. All that and more coming up next.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
Here now is Cam Little out to get us started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. Leading him out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Ole Miss.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second and a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll go again with Tracy. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. It was just 3rd down and short, but he bit off a little extra.
I would say way more than he could chew, but he chewed up all that yardage in a big way. And that, to me, that was a combination of offensive line, stacked defense, and they handled it. Okay, they got the leverage, they got the blocking angles, and opened up a nice crease. And once you get past that first wave, there's room to roam.
Yeah, that's just the 3rd play from scrimmage. They wanted to avoid that 3 and out. They did.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Open man, that's Malik Neighbors. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars 39. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
And every time you step on a field, coaches are always going to talk about how important tackling is in a ball game. In this one, especially so. You can't allow these guys to break free and get extra yards after contact, but that's exactly what happens here. That can't continue as this game goes on.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 4. They'll hand it to Tracy. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
It's complete to Robinson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 19. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Back to throw here. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Devon Hamilton forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
But you just knew that these rushers were eager to do that today. Put him on the ground. Their plan? Introduce themselves individually to this rookie quarterback. They said hello to Big Way there with a loss of double-digit yards on that sack.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now back to throw. That one taken in by Neighbors. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Yeah, the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. Well, only their first drive, Charles, but they talked to us about needing to convert on 3rd down, in particular not letting 3rd and short opportunities slip through their fingers. Well, they were successful right there.
It also tells you that they're successful on 1st and 2nd down as well to get to 3rd and manageable and make them able to pick up those first downs.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton from 4 yards out. And the Giants put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
Open man, this is Brenton Strange, the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And they run the option on 2nd down. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Going quickly here to Thomas. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Lawrence steps away to his left. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a 1st down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 43. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Absolutely nowhere to go with the football, and he's just going to put this one in the Hudson River. Maybe he's a little fortunate he didn't get called for grounding because that one was well over everyone's head.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Now Lawrence to throw. Got his man. It's the tight end Strange with it. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard strike. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And this one is right down the middle. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Robinson's got it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the 2nd quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football. 2nd down and a yard. As they've got it as we resume action. On to give, it's Tracy. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. They'll look to throw here on first down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He'll look to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
From the 23, here's the 2nd down and 6. ETN up the middle.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence.
Got a man, it's Brown.
And he will have a Jaguars 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And he'll get this to the 32.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here's Lawrence.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Now Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. And New York set to take the field.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 7.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
That is Joshua Hines-Allen working his way in for the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt.
And now a high kick, but he hit it straight up. 31 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Lawrence will throw.
Over the middle here to Brown.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
They go play action with Lawrence.
He'll buy some time right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brian Burns flying in there and dropping it for the sack. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Here's Lawrence to throw. That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Yeah, this is a high kick, but it's not going anywhere. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
That's complete. It's Neighbors.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5.
They'll look to throw again.
And that's going to be caught downfield by Slayton.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 25 yards that time.
Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Gano's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very Lawrence hit and the ball is free. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long.
Straight ahead, Etienne.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He's going deep for Brown.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Tough when they're first drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's second down.
And I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
They'll drop to throw.
Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson.
7 yards there and a first down. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange.
And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
A handoff for Etienne.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
The 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And that will be incomplete. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 1.
A quick throw out wide caught by Robinson. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw again.
And quickly into the hands of Robinson.
Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They go play action here on 1st down. Out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Emmanuel Ogbah that time, able to drop him for a loss.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll look to throw here. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Like any team plan, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Gano's kick is good, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3.
So the lead extended, and I think at this point you say, hey, defense, take us to the end.
Well, if I got some good music to put to that, I could have a good country hit. I like the way you expressed yourself there. I think the offense has done enough so far. But like you say, if your defense is only giving up 3 points, makes it a lot easier to settle for field goals on this side of the ball.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Jaguars back with it on offense. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Lawrence.
Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Giants offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Now back to throw. That's complete to Slayton. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Giants on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Steps up, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
It was Eric Armstead fighting his way through that time to record the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for New York. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. On the ground with Bigsby to start the drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Lawrence will throw. Thomas brings it in. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
From the shotgun, Lawrence got his man. It's the tight end Strange with it. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
2nd and 5. In motion left is Thomas. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Here's a give to Etienne. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And the Jaguars are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point attempt to follow here.
And he puts it through. They're within 3. It's 13-10. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
And New York set to take the field. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Back to throw here. Robinson's got it. It'll go as a gain of 4. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. In motion, Slayton. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Back to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Back to throw now on first down. And this will be caught at the 30.
And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
Points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. A play action fake. They'll look to throw.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So out on the field now, Graham Gano in a big spot. This to swell the lead to 6. Gano's kick is good, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
On the return, Tank Bigsby. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars.
Down by 6. Just over a minute 40 to play. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Here's Lawrence. Screen play. Here's Etienne.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
Just the one timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. A short throw there to Strange.
Very sharp here to start this drive. 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
Here comes 2nd down at 5. Back to throw. Lawrence.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open.
And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout.
They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
Here's 2nd down and 3. Lawrence. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Well, the crowd here at MetLife Stadium in full roar. 3rd down.
And now another one thrown incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence able to find the open man. That's complete.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
Oh, that's a big pickup right there. That play might have saved them. Now they got to get up to the line of scrimmage quick. They've got to spike it.
A final shot now for Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Partner, what a finish to this one. I mean, this offense, they had it down there inside the red zone, but ultimately couldn't execute that final snap to find the end zone.
Yeah, and they're going to walk away from this one, and you know what's going to go through their heads the entire time until they get to play again. If we could only have that final snap to do over one more time, maybe with a different play call.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from East Rutherford.